Welcome back to Houston Life. When it comes to summer travel destinations, Hawaii is always a popular spot for travelers.
Yeah, and it's been almost a year since those devastating fires swept the island of Maui. Recovery is still ongoing, but the calls for tourism are growing and becoming more and more optimistic. Our resident travel guy, Gabe Saglie, a senior editor with Travelzoo, is joining us live from Maui with an update. Gabe, it's so great to see you. We're twinning with our Hawaiian shirts today. Yes. And right now you're on Kaanapali Beach, which is just outside of Lahaina, which of course was devastated by the fires. So describe the mood, because immediately after the fires, people were sort of being told, now is not the time to visit the island. But here, now that we're a year out, that mood has totally changed, right?
And you are absolutely right. And I was here actually just a couple of months after the fires. And now that I'm back almost a year in, certainly the vibe has changed. There is much more of an optimistic message, much more sort of a happier mood overall. But yeah, that was a devastating situation. I'm at Kaanapali Beach here, and I'm at the Westin Maui Beach Resort and Spa, very popular with a lot of Texans who love to travel out here. I'm only about 3 miles north of Lahaina. To get here, I had to skirt that zone, which is still off limits. So Lahaina itself still off limits, but Lahaina represents 1.2% of the entirety of the island of Maui. So 99% of the island was unscathed and remains open and very much open for business. And when you think, Derrick, about the fact that 60 to 80% of the jobs, I'm thinking closer to 80% of the jobs on this island are either directly or indirectly linked to tourism, there's definitely a need. So that need, perhaps immediately after, had to be put on pause. But certainly by the time we got to late 2023 and throughout the course of this year, I think that there's been a realization here on the ground that we need, the folks here need those travel dollars to come in. Texas in general has become an increasingly more, a bigger portion, a bigger slice of the pie, if you will, of the mainland folks who come out here. So out of Houston, I think you're going to see increased flight deals over the next couple of months. But to answer your question, the vibe is much more optimistic and positive. This is probably my 22nd trip out here to Hawaii over the many years. And it feels very, very sort of quintessential Hawaii, very back to normal, in fact, but the numbers have not caught up yet. So there's opportunity out there. And I think there's a realization, certainly, that the travel dollar remains critical to the bounce back here on Maui in particular. And actually, that's rippled across all of the Hawaiian Islands as well.
Gabe, I think it's so important that you're talking about the numbers and just the areas affected, because as a traveler, you want to remain sensitive of what people are going through, and you don't want to upset anyone, especially the locals. But knowing that they depend on tourism, is that really the sentiment now? It's like, come one, come all, and is this a good time to go?
Absolutely. And listen, 80% of the people who come here this year so far are repeat visitors. Folks like me who, hey, have been here. We remember Maui, we remember the Big Island, Oahu, what have you. And we want to tap into that once again. And we're getting this impression now that it is okay for us to do that. So, yeah, a couple of very positive stories have started to pop up. The permits for the rebuilding of the first homes on Lahaina have finally been issued. So that's a step in the right direction. Businesses that were lost on Lahaina have actually repositioned themselves. They've relocated to places further south, like in Wailea or in Kihei or even here in Kaanapali. And so they've opened up. A couple of restaurants, a couple of breweries have reopened after they were swept away by those fires last year. So some definitely moves in the right direction. A lot of the FEMA folks, the Red Cross folks who were gobbling up hotel rooms, those contracts have ended. They moved out. Folks who were being housed in hotels like this one, the Westin Maui, have now found more permanent housing. So these hotel rooms are now open to tourists, and there is definitely a push to come on back. I have to say, these guys have been super generous with me. The Westin Maui, one of the more popular properties here on Kaanapali Beach, just finished a $160 million renovation. So they've taken advantage of that softer last year and the last couple of years to really sort of spruce things up and kind of put a new, fresh foot forward, again, ready to welcome the mainland traveler all over again.
And because of that, Gabe, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Because of that, spots like this Westin we're seeing on the screen, you can get huge deals, right? Like 25 to 35% off. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, so these guys, and you'll find these on the Travelzoo website. So here on Kaanapali Beach, Kaanapali, by the way, beautiful 3-mile stretch of several different hotels. But these guys, between now and spring of 2025, you'll get 25 to 35% off your hotel rate, depending on the room that you book. I'm in one of the penthouse suites here because they said, "Are you going to be talking to Houston Life? We'll set you up real nice." So 35% off if you upgrade to one of the suites up here, and that's for travel all the way through spring, and it includes a daily $50 resort credit. If we swim across to Oahu, for example, the Hilton Hawaiian Village resort there on Waikiki Beach, very popular with families who travel out here from Texas. Rates there from $225, 50% off for travel over the next couple of months. And on the big island of Hawaii, one of my favorites, the AAA 4-Diamond Fairmont Orchid, which is a favorite of our family. They've got rates in the mid 400s, but 4 nights gets you a 5th night free, and you get breakfast every morning that you're there. So they've adjusted rates. You know, hotels don't always necessarily love to slash rates in a massive way. So they've adjusted rates, but the added value incentive around things like upgrades, cultural activations, being able to access some prime dining and some of these cultural opportunities, like taking that morning canoe ride out at sunrise. Those things have now been added to a lot of these value packages. And then if you look at airfare, guys, certainly out of Houston, airlines like United and Southwest in particular have gotten pretty aggressive with their airfare deals. You're going to find some really good value in the fall. It's softer than they want to see it out here in the fall. So I think there's some pretty good opportunity for those of you who want to take a last minute trip out here come September and October, when it's still sunny and plenty of 70s and 80s out there.
I am those of you. He is talking about those of you.
Yeah,
I am those of you.
I know you are.
Seriously, mark your calendars. Gabe, well, we know the island's been through a lot. Glad to see it starting to bounce back, and we hope you enjoy your time there. It's great to see you, and thanks for the info.
I want that shirt. Mahalo, guys.
You already have that shirt. Mahalo to you.
I think I do, actually. It's true.
Gabe Saglie,
but
thanks
smaller
again.
size, yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, we'll be sharing a link to learn more on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that scene on Houston Life section. And don't go away. Houston Life will be right back.
My hula.